Well, I'm learning something about when you don't shoot well and you're shooters, you have a tendency not to guard as well. And, I thought some of my key guys, a couple of things that, Trav struggled a little bit, make some shots. He had some good shots, but he rebounded pretty well. And Zell getting in foul trouble. We're just not good enough when teams go zone and different things if we don't have him in there. And he was out so much of that game, especially in the first half when we had a little lead. And we did some good things inside. But I thought we missed some shots. I just thought we missed a lot of open shots and rebounded pretty good. And then the second half, we just didn't guard till the last 5 minutes and put Dawson on Newbill to try to stop me. He had a couple blocks and did a pretty good job on him. But it was hard with Zell because he's my next best defender and he's in foul trouble. And we just kind of left gaps open. That's not what we do. That's not how we play. But after the other game, I'm going to take the win, and we're going to move forward and see if we can continue to get better. I didn't get Javon Best in as much because they played so much zone, and we had to go with a little different lineup. So I was pleased with Schilling's double-double, but he must have missed 3 dunks by going up one-handed. It was just those kind of things are ridiculous. But I feel for Penn State, they're playing good enough to be they're a good team. That's a veteran team. And they've got one of the hardest players in the league to guard. Their inside guys are good. They started a different lineup. He's trying different things. I give him credit. And yet, I thought if Zell doesn't step out of bounds, maybe we could have pulled away a little more in the last 3 minutes. To their credit, we didn't. Yep.
You talked in December at one point about confidence with your team. With Denzel and Travis specifically, is there right now just a little bit of a dip in confidence?
Yeah, I'd say that's a good way to look at it. And absolutely no reason for it. When you go in and study for a test, and you study all semester for a test, you go take the test. You may flunk the test, but you shouldn't be unconfident about taking the test. You did. Those 2 guys worked so hard, and were shooting so well. But I see the same thing as you see, and their faces go. And, the free throws, Trav almost airballed that one, and that's not, like him. So, yeah, I'd say that's a good point. We need a game to come out of that, but not through lack of work, so I can't complain about that. The one thing I'm complaining about is, for the most part, I think Trav's letting his offense dictate his defense. Zell was doing that for a couple games. Tonight, he played pretty good defense. I don't know what Newbill had at halftime. How many did he have? Anybody know? 9. I thought for the time Zell was on him, he didn't score many. And then we had Zell out for, 7, 8 minutes. And, he scored some then. So I need Zell in there. A couple other guys. I look at this team, and I think we were very good defensively early in the year, but we're pretty good offensively. And, I watched last year's tape, and at their place or here, when you see, it makes me appreciate, Keith and Gary were probably the 2 best defenders at the point. But the other thing that was strange when I watched the home game here, we didn't have Keith and we didn't have BJ, but Kaminsky had 19 points, So we're still missing things that, you wonder why we aren't quite where we need to be. And sometimes it's size issues and sometimes it's shooting. If we make some of those shots and you win by more, you feel better. So we're going to make shots. We've done it in the past. They're good shooters. We just got to do a little better job of checking if we don't make shots.
Technical. Did you feel the momentum shift at all, and how do you think it may have affected your players and the way they finished the game?
These games are hard to officiate, I think every coach is complaining now because the consistency of officiating is difficult. We have guys working a lot of days, and we have guys working so many more leagues. And if you look at, probably you see it, it probably happened with coaches, when seems like within a 2-3 year period, we lost Heathcote and Knight and Katie and Haskins and Davis and Henson. it's almost that way in officiating. We lost a bunch of veteran guys last year and breaking in new guys, and they're working a lot of leagues. And I think it's frustrating for them, frustrating for us. And did I feel the momentum swing? A little bit, but Zell only made one of the free throws. And right then, 1 or 2 free throws made a big difference. So I'm sure it did some, but not as much as it could have, should have.
A couple big shots late. Costello attacks on the baseline and finds Forbes in the corner. I think that's some stuff you guys were working on. I know you've been working on the half-court execution, things like that. But how big are those two to get him looks like that and to see them go down?
Well, I think it's big, and we said that we thought the slips were open all night, and we just couldn't get guys to slip. And then, BJ must have been a shot putter in high school. He's throwing the ball up like this, and he's not finishing it. And, again, he goes 4 for 9 and does a better job at the line and gets 10 rebounds and 12 points, and it was probably a 16, 18 night game for him. And that part's a little frustrating, but he is playing harder and he is playing longer, and he did take the challenge of guarding Newbill. So we're making some progress there. I think right now it's Trav and Zell that we got to get playing like they were playing early in the year on both ends, and keep Zell out of foul trouble. Every game Zell's been in foul trouble has been a problem for us. So we're going to have to look at a couple different things in the next couple games, but got to do a better job.
You talked about mental toughness with his team. The ending of his game, we step forward in that area.
Did we make any progress in mental toughness? I'm sure we did. I mean, we found a way to win at the end, but, as I said, we just got to get more out of our key guys, and on both ends of the court. But I thought Zell, even though he struggled the most because of the foul trouble, I thought he showed a different attitude from the start of the game to the end. He was really in it in huddles and that. So I think he made some progress in that area.
What physical toughness? There were some hard fouls in the paint, and it seemed like maybe they were a little nastier. Is that something that you saw from Dawson and maybe even Schilling?
Yeah, I thought we battled in there. We were up, 10, 12 rebounds in the first half or whatever, and we ended up only out-rebounding them by 13. But part of that was they shot 57 or 8% the second half. They made all their shots in the second half, and I think they made more free throws even in the second half. So, I think we got a little tougher. I mean, it helps. Schilling's a tough kid, and Costello was playing good. He, too, got in foul trouble, and Dawson probably played a few more minutes. I think the other thing that we really got to work on is figure out whether it's going to be Marvin or Best is going to have to play some 4. But we got to give Brandon a little more rest than we're giving him. Maybe that's part of the reason missed those shots. But it's seeing him make free throws, and even the ones he missed now, look, I think he's worked very hard on it, and I think deserves some credit for it. And so I give him that.
Tom, you talk about no easy nights in the Big Ten, and for Travis, this may be new territory for him, that when he's struggling so much, you're counting on him so much now than maybe you were before.
Well, that's what I say. Every player in the world wants to be the man. BMOC, is that what they say? Big man on campus. Everybody wants to be that. But there goes a lot of responsibility and there goes some pressure with being the man. And it's not as easy as you think, And I think he took one real bad shot and then ran in and they get a layup. I mean, it just didn't make sense. And that's not who he is and what he is. So I'm sure that everybody's feeling a little pressure. People are mad. Everybody's upset. We're all right. I mean, we're not great yet, but there's a million reasons, and some of them is we weren't great from the beginning. We were supposed to work to becoming great, and to do that, you need your 3 best players to play well, and the other guys. I said all along, if I ever thought we'd get this out of Schilling and Costello, I like our chances, but our consistent guys early got to get more consistent now, and they will. And when they do, we'll become better.
Looked like you got on Gavin was looking money and secure that the putbacks a little bit, and then
Just go 2 hands.
And then the next time he got a chance, he made a little more sure.
He is. I mean, Gavin's a good kid. He just, as he said to me downstairs just now, it's just a bad habit, Coach. He goes up everything one hand. Now he's got a little bit of a shoulder problem, and maybe that's a little bit it too, but he's going up one hand all the time, and he should be going up two hands on those. And if he goes up two hands, he misses at least 3 dunks. I mean, that's 6 more points for us, 6 more for him. Those things in Big Ten games, when you talk about 4, 6, 8-point swings, scores aren't going to be usually separate enough most nights that those make a huge difference. That's why, shooting better from the line, and then our key guys miss them down the stretch. We shoot 80% from the line tonight, and would have made the game easier, would have made them happier, would have made me a hell of a lot happier.
Not a bad problem to have. Get your dunks straightened out. In other words, he's active for the great.
He's been very active, and he's battling in there. He's tipping balls loose. Like I said, I got no complaints with Schilling and Costello. I think those guys are playing not at the highest level, but I think they're playing pretty well right now. And Dawson's making progress. He's making progress. I mean, he's playing longer. He's playing harder. He's getting balls. He's getting rebounds. Now it's back to finishing, so we'll keep working on that. He gets 6. Between him and Schilling, they get 11 offensive rebounds. That's hard to do. Anything else? What's that? Well, I mean, it gets a little tougher here because not only do we go on the road, but what's starting to happen in this league is the league has really changed. You're getting these teams you get a lot of big teams. Big teams, and we probably have our smallest guards, and Petaway, can play the 2 at 6'6", 6'7", and, we came off the Maryland thing, and a lot of big teams right now. So we're going to have to play better, but I think we will. I think this is another shot in the arm where we found a way to win games. Early in the year we found ways to lose games. And we're going to build on this. We're going to get a little better. And the guys that I need to play better have played better. I'm not looking for a pipeline dream of getting, blood out of a rock or something. I'm trying to get stuff that has already happened. And we'll do that. They'll get better, and it's going to have to play well down there. Anything else? Thanks, guys.